I do a lot of Vita mods on this channel, maybe you want to check them out. Vita battery mods are not perfect. They count down at the speed of the original battery. That means periodically, if you have a larger battery than the original, you need to reset the battery until the software is fixed. Turning the Vita off for 2 minutes will reset the battery and make it check its voltage, find out where you actually are in the battery's life. Jumps back up to where the battery actually is. I recommend soldering, but this is how you can do it solderless. You need a Vita with its original battery. You need any 3.7 volt LiPo with the connector that you choose. You then also need the other end of that connector so that we can add it to the mod. And then clipping in new batteries will just be that easy. You need a precision Phillips 00 screwdriver and a precision flathead for prying. Fine felt pen for marking before cutting. Can be done with just a few razor blades. I recommend having a Dremel as well. Something that can make fire. Wire heat shrink tubes. Pretty small. An old scissors, not a nice scissors. Electrical tape. Some kind of a pliers for plying plastic. It'll be for ripping and tearing. Okay, first make sure there's no game, memory card, or SIM card. So first we have to open, that's 4 screws on the back, black, 2 silver screws on the bottom, and 2 on the top inside of a bay. The non-labeled bay. With those out, I like to just pull behind the L button with my nail. Cables are connected at the bottom, so open from the top. Disconnect the rear touchscreen using a fingernail. I brace my thumb on the board, pull the cable out and upward. 2 more screws holding the old battery in. This battery can be dead, and we can still use it, because we just need its clip that clips to the board and its thermistor. This small connector has clips on both sides. I release the clip, then pull up. Do for the other side, release the clip, and pull up. The battery just lifts out without its brace. Be very careful with this clip. Now it's time to tear into this battery case. Start by removing the sticker, and then with the flathead we need to peel the top part of this tin off of the battery plastic. Don't go too low, all this area up here is plastic. There is some glue, try to get it to just slide under. Trying to peel it away from the plastic. We also need to clear away the tin on the side furthest from the wire. Once that side's exposed, you can push up using the screwdriver on this side and then the other side, back and forth until the whole thing pops out. Then just rip it off. Gently. The rest of the plastic just pulls right off this board as well. And you're left with, this is all we need. That small area near the JL3. Marking here where to cut. And then don't use your fancy scissors, use some crappy scissors that can cut through this board without messing them up. Cut all the way at the back of your blade. Here I'm just straightening the wires. Cut the red wire off. Cut the black wire in half. Alright, now we need our connector. I'm using the JST 2.0. We're going to put our heat sink right on the cables so that it's there after we attach the other wires. Cut off any extra length on your JST. If you have wire strippers, use those. I'm going to show using the scissors how to strip the wire. With the scissors all the way open, just push the wire into the back of the scissors and turn the wire. You can kind of open and close the scissors a little bit, but be careful not to close it at all. All you're trying to cut is the sheath. Once it pulls away a little bit, it's ready to come off. Twist those wires up. Stripping the wires on this Vita part are much harder. There's very little wire in here, so when you cut with your scissors, be very gentle and slow. You only have one of these. Again, use wire strippers if you have them, but I'm showing how to use scissors in case you don't. Strip both sides of the black wire. I'm just spinning it and pushing it into the scissors. And then pull away if I think I have it, and then try again. Spin, pull away. Twist them up. And then twist the two together. I have some of this off camera. I apologize. I just put them together and twist them together. And they are one. Tie your long wires together with the best nut you have. I'm using a double knot, over under, from the right to left, twice so that they stay together. I was going to show a really fancy locking knot, but I really couldn't do it because the wires are too short. You can make this part easier by attaching longer wires to the Vita side and then stripping further. What I'm doing is the first part of tying your shoes twice. Whatever knot you like, so long as that it is secure. Pull on it a little bit, make sure it won't come apart. Slide the heat shrink over the knot. This helps make sure it doesn't come untied, but of course also make sure it doesn't touch anything else. And then we use the lighter to heat it up and shrink whatever fire source you have. Just kind of important to get it snug around the knot. That'll keep it from moving and touching anything else. But if you can secure it to the wire, that'll keep it protected from any kind of humidity too. Just rearranging the wires here, nothing important. Okay, now we need to connect the red wires. Be very careful. I accidentally cut through some of the wires in the red one. You really don't want to lose many, or any really. Since I lost a little, I cut it shorter and tried again. Slowly and twisting, pushing into the scissors, not closing the scissors on it, and then pulling away. Twisting up that red wire. Same with this side, best knot you got. Make sure that shrink tube's on there. I ended up using the screwdriver to help push through the last bit in the knot. I had more trouble with the red side, as you can see. Pull on it. And then I kind of twist it in to clean it up, not that it matters. Slide the heat tube over and shrink it to the wire. This is not a great angle. It's not actually in the flame, it's just below it, but you can't really catch it on fire, just so you know. Incredibly flame retardant. Trying to shrink it around the knot, but also make it so that other things can't touch the wire. Now the knots can't come undone, nor can they touch anything else and short out. Okay, the module is pretty much done. You just need to protect that board piece and then install it. This is what it looks like right now if you're following along. All black wires connected, all red wires connected. White is not cut. Red removed from the board. Okay, we need to protect the board with some electrical tape. Before that, I realized I can trim the board down just a little more. We can cut off where the red wire attached to the board, cut the board off there. And we can trim anywhere under that JL3. Anywhere the scissors will fit, by the way. Those solder bumps on the other side. All we really need is that small area above the JL3 to be untouched. Coat it with some electrical tape, cut any extra off. And now our adapter is complete. Since we have the electrical tape, let's add a piece to each of the leads on the old battery, so this won't short and start a fire. Once those are covered, you can just fold them over, wrap another piece around, so that it's ready to be disposed of. And then check your own country how to dispose of lithium ion or lithium polymer batteries. Don't just throw them in the garbage. Alright, time to remove the plastic from the back. Grab your pliers and start tearing. You can just keep measuring the battery, putting it up to the back and seeing if it'll fit, cutting a little more out. The 60-60-90 LiPos that I use and the 70-60-90 LiPos fit really well if you leave the post near the bottom of the case. Those are 4,000 milliamp hour batteries and give me about 8 hours of playtime. While doing this, you really need to be sure that the bottom is smooth so it doesn't puncture the battery. If you puncture the battery, it can start a fire, but it definitely destroys the battery. I own a Dremel, so I cheat and use a Dremel here on these harder spots. You can definitely do it with a razor blade. I used to do 1 razor blade per back case, but 2 if you want to be safe, so that you have something sharp. Once you are sure it is smooth, go ahead and put your battery in. There it is, that post on the right side there. Really braces it perfectly against the top. Now we just need to put it all together. The adapter connects back to the front side just by pushing down on it again. I'm trying to figure out where the wire is going to go. It's kind of not that great of a fit. You can avert this by lengthening the wires attached to that board piece. Make sure the same colored wires would connect before you make the battery connection. Alright, now when closing, I'm trying to put that taped board above the battery clip if I can on that board in that open space. So I partially close it to move it up there a little bit. I reattach the rear screen just by pushing it down on its slot. And then try to get the wires to stay in certain places. You may need to use a little tape. I use a little tape to get this to stick right here, so that I can close the case easier. And it's snug, but it fits. I put the pressure on the case going all the way around. Don't force it, just look for what won't close, open it back up, find out why, and get it to close. Just need the screws. 4 black on the back, 2 silver on the bottom, 2 silver on the top, behind the bay door without the PS Vita logo. Alright, well it turns on, and now if you ever want to replace it with a new battery, you just need to buy one with that same clip and switch it out. Charging works with the software on, charging works with the software off. Complete. Thanks for watching.